Salem is heating up with shocking revelations, simmering confrontations, and secrets that threaten to alter relationships forever. The day kicks off with Brady facing a fiery showdown with Ava. The argument erupts with passion deeply rooted in ongoing tensions concerning Rachel and Kristen's influence. Ava's protective instincts collide with Brady's intense frustrations over Kristen's manipulations. Brady feels increasingly helpless, worried about the negative impact Kristen continues to have on their daughter, Rachel. Ava, fiercely defensive and unwilling to back down, stands firm, warning Brady not to push Kristen too far. This heated confrontation leaves both parties deeply agitated, with unresolved feelings threatening to spiral out of control. Will their volatile interaction escalate into something worse, or can cooler heads prevail before permanent damage is done? Meanwhile, Gabby delivers a bombshell revelation to Paulina that shakes Salem to its core. Gabby exposes the truth about Belle's recent activities, revealing to a stunned Paulina that Belle has been entangled romantically with EJ. This revelation further complicates an already tense situation given EJ's role in Rafe's mysterious predicament. Paulina, always protective and fiercely loyal, reacts with disbelief and concern, her mind racing with the implications. She is shocked that Belle, someone she believed trustworthy, could become involved in such complicated and morally ambiguous circumstances. Paulina's maternal instincts immediately kick into high gear, and she vows to get to the bottom of this troubling development. In another corner of Salem, EJ finds twisted amusement in taunting Rafe and Jada. Still reeling from his own recent difficulties and holding on to resentment, EJ appears to relish in causing discomfort for the pair. Rafe, still struggling with short-term memory loss and unable to pinpoint exactly how EJ may have orchestrated his recent troubles, finds himself deeply frustrated and helpless. EJ, smug and seemingly without remorse, continues his cruel mockery. However, beneath his confident facade, subtle signs indicate that EJ might have hidden regrets, hinting at lingering internal conflicts that could soon unravel publicly. The drama doesn't stop there. Sean, burdened with guilt and anxiety, confides a shocking secret to JJ. He reveals he and Jada spent a night together. Sean is visibly distressed, worried not only about the emotional consequences but the potential fallout should Jada disclose their secret to Rafe. JJ, stunned by the confession, quickly grasps the gravity of the situation, realizing the delicate web of trust and betrayal that could shatter multiple lives. Sean, feeling vulnerable, questions his own integrity and the future he hoped to rebuild. If Jada does choose honesty and reveals their affair to Rafe, it could mean heartbreak, broken friendships, and possibly even career ramifications for Sean. The weight of secrecy hangs heavy, pushing Sean into a spiral of worry and self-doubt. Meanwhile, Rafe and Jada grow increasingly suspicious of EJ's possible involvement in Rafe's troubling circumstances. Their professional instincts kick in, compelling them to dig deeper. Despite Rafe's current memory issues, Jada remains determined, convinced EJ's fingerprints are all over their recent misfortunes. EJ, sensing their scrutiny, intensifies his provocations, further inflaming tensions. Yet, underneath his seemingly unbothered exterior, there's a flicker of discomfort that suggests he may soon regret his brazen attitude, especially if evidence emerges tying him directly to Rafe's plight. Paulina, freshly armed with the truth from Gabby about Belle and EJ, finds herself contemplating her next move. Belle's involvement with EJ not only complicates her personal life but threatens Paulina's trust and confidence in those she cares deeply about. Paulina is left questioning her judgment, deciding whether to confront Belle immediately or gather further evidence to understand the full extent of the deceit. Her eventual decision could significantly alter relationships in Salem, potentially creating deep rifts or paving the way for difficult, healing conversations. As the day unfolds, Salem's residents find themselves grappling with explosive revelations, emotional confrontations, and moral dilemmas. Sean anxiously awaits Jada's decision, Brady and Ava struggle with lingering anger and protectiveness, and Paulina wrestles with newfound doubts and fears. EJ's taunting continues, yet he might soon find himself the target of karma's swift justice. In the bustling center of Horton Square, an air of tension and drama unfolded beneath the cheerful facade of Salem's favorite gathering place. Holly stood quietly beside Doug, her arms folded protectively across her chest, her expression a delicate mix of frustration and anxiety. Doug, sensing her unease, turned to offer her a comforting glance, but before words of reassurance could escape him, an unexpected voice broke their silence. "Well, isn't this necklace just divine?" came the familiar yet unsettlingly cheerful voice. Both Doug and Holly turned simultaneously to see Melinda Trask, the former district attorney, standing before them. She tossed back her dark, glossy hair, purposely allowing the sunlight to catch and glisten off the striking necklace around her neck. Melinda Trask? Holly gasped in surprise, visibly stunned. Her eyes widened, reflecting both recognition and disbelief. "Hello, Holly," Melinda responded smoothly, her gaze unwavering and cool. She ran her fingers delicately along the shimmering jewelry. "This necklace goes perfectly with my outfit, don't you think?" Doug stepped forward cautiously, his voice gentle but firm. "Melinda, we need to talk about that necklace. It means a lot to Holly." Melinda smiled dismissively, clearly uninterested in relinquishing her newfound treasure. "I'm sure it does. But it means even more to me now." Holly's agitation grew evident as she uncrossed her arms, stepping closer to Doug's side. She whispered urgently, "Doug, do you even know who this woman is?" Doug turned his head slightly, puzzled by Holly's sudden intensity. "Should I? She was involved in Sloane's baby swap plot," Holly explained passionately, her voice trembling with remembered anger. "She's trouble, Doug. Big trouble." Doug's eyes narrowed slightly as he considered Holly's revelation. He turned back to Melinda, whose confident stance remained unwavering. "Melinda, we didn't mean any harm, but that necklace was stolen." Feigning shock, Melinda dramatically placed a hand on her chest. "Stolen? I assure you, Doug, I had no idea. I simply bought it because it matched my new dress perfectly." "Please," Doug said earnestly, his tone softer now, infused with genuine desperation. "That necklace was Holly's family heirloom. It's more valuable to her than anything." Melinda raised an eyebrow skeptically, clearly amused by the sincerity of Doug's plea. "If it's so precious, perhaps you should be more careful about who you trust." Holly's eyes flashed defensively and she turned sharply to Doug. "This wouldn't have happened if you'd been more careful." Doug sighed heavily, running a hand through his hair. "And this wouldn't have happened if you'd kept the necklace secure in the first place, Holly." Watching their heated exchange, Melinda couldn't help but smile, amused by the drama unfolding before her. She turned as if to leave, but Doug quickly reached out, gently catching her arm. "Wait, Melinda. Please don't leave yet. We really do need your help," he said earnestly, his voice quiet but filled with sincere emotion. Melinda paused, slowly turning to face him, her eyes narrowing slightly in suspicion. "Why on earth should I help either of you?" "Because it's the right thing to do," Doug responded simply, his expression open and genuine. "And Holly is willing to pay you more than whatever you spent on the necklace." Holly nodded quickly, her eyes hopeful yet guarded. "Yes, I'll pay whatever it takes." Melinda paused thoughtfully, a curious expression crossing her features. "Interesting," she murmured, glancing between Holly and Doug. Suddenly, understanding flickered in her eyes, accompanied by a sly smile. "Wait a minute, is this about more than just a necklace? Holly, do you have feelings for Doug?" Caught off guard, Holly's cheeks flushed deeply, betraying her emotions. She quickly averted her eyes, her voice small yet defiant. "That's not relevant right now." Melinda laughed softly, clearly enjoying the revelation. "Oh, it's entirely relevant. But unfortunately for both of you, I won't part with something as exquisite as this necklace. Especially since I've discovered it has sentimental value. Sentimentality increases worth after all." Doug shook his head, growing increasingly frustrated by Melinda's stubborn refusal. "Melinda, isn't there any compassion left in you? Holly's family history is wrapped up in that necklace. Please reconsider." For a brief moment, Melinda's eyes softened slightly, a shadow of compassion almost surfacing. But it quickly disappeared behind her mask of indifference. "I'm touched, really. But sentimentality doesn't pay the bills, and this necklace now has its own new history with me. Goodbye, Doug. Goodbye, Holly." With one last confident toss of her hair, Melinda turned and strode gracefully away through Horton Square, leaving Doug and Holly standing together in tense silence. "Now what do we do?" Holly whispered helplessly, her voice trembling with emotion. Doug gently took her hand, offering comfort even amidst their unresolved tension. "We'll find another way, Holly. I promise we'll get that necklace back." As they stood side by side, a renewed determination settled over them, strengthening their connection and deepening their resolve. Despite the turmoil Melinda had stirred, Doug and Holly knew they would face the challenge ahead together, whatever it might bring.